And we're back. All right, so we're on the last couple pages, the last homework page of lesson 8.4. So it's page 563 and 564. We're going to do those together so I know that you know how to do them. This is just more practice of measuring to the nearest inch. So you need your inch ruler out. All right, make sure you're on the inches side. I keep saying it, but I know some kids probably will still forget. Sometimes I forget. So make sure it goes from the 0 to the 12. That way you know it's the inches side. The first object we're going to measure is a comb. So we're going to start at the edge of the comb at the 0. And I'm going to follow my pen all the way to the end of the comb. And what number does it end on? Very good. It ends on the 6 inches mark. If you could see that. I'm starting at the 0 and I'm going all the way to the 6. All right, the next one is it looks like a butterfly barrette. So I'm going to start at the edge of the barrette at the 0. So notice how the 0 is lined up. And what number does it go closest to? Very good. It goes closest to the 2 inches mark. All right, let's look at the toothbrush. So the toothbrush, I'm going to start with the 0. Okay, and notice where the toothbrush ends. What number is it closest to? Very good, it's closest to the 5 inches mark. All right, the next one we have another problem like the one that we just did on the last page where we have to measure this and then we have to measure this to find out the total length because it's bent. So if we measure this first part right here, we can see if we start at the 0, it went to the 2 inches. And then if we measure from the bent part up, we can see that that line stops at the 3 inches. And we have to add up the 2 together, 2 plus 3, to find out the total amount of inches, which is what? Very good. It is a total of 5 inches long. It says, compare the ruler you made to an inch ruler. Describe how they are alike and describe how they are different. So think about the rulers that we made. So we made some last week. They were a bunch of these little inch worms or inch tiles put together like this, compared to a ruler. You don't even have to write this part in if you don't want to. Let's just talk about it. So how do you think that they are alike? So think about the ruler and think about our little tiles. Very good. So each segment is an inch long. Okay, so we're using inches for both of them, and each segment is an inch long. They're also very different though. This one, you have to keep kind of picking up each time you want to measure to see how long it is when the ruler goes all the way to the 12. So there are definitely differences and similarities. You don't have to write that answer in. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. All right, go ahead and flip your page. So we are on page 564, and this will be the last page for our lesson today. And we're using our inch rulers again, so make sure you have that ruler out. Make sure you're on the inch side, which goes to the 12. We're going to start at the edge of it looks like a straw. I'm going to go to the end of the straw, and what number is it closest to? Very good. It's closest to the 3, so we're going to write in at 3 inches. Number 2, use an inch ruler. What is the length to the nearest inch? So same thing. I am going to start at the 0 at the beginning of the straw. I'm going to follow my pen all the way to the end, and what number does it go on? Very good. It's on the 2 inches mark. And that makes sense to me. Do you know why? If I look at this straw compared to this straw, I can see this straw is just a little bit longer than this straw. So 3 and 2 really make sense because 3 is just a little bit bigger than 2. So I know my measurement's probably pretty accurate. Okay, number 3. The clock shows the time that Jen got to school. Write the time and then circle AM or PM. So last week we kept saying like, oh, we don't know if it's AM or PM. This week we'll know if it's AM or PM. Okay, so to tell time, what you do, the hour is going to be the shorter hand, Now the shorter hand is pointing in between the 8 and the 9, so think, if it's in between, you go back. If it's in between, you go back. So it's in between the 8 and the 9, so we go back to the 9 for the hour. And then when the long hand is pointing at the 6, that means 30. And we can double check with that because we always start with the 0 at the 12 and then we count by 5. So it goes 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I know that that is correct. Now, would we be going to school at 8:30 a.m. or 8:30 p.m.? You're right, 8:30 a.m. And that is actually the time that you guys usually walk into my classroom. So that worked out perfect. All right, what is the difference? 13 minus 5. Very good, it is 8. Some of you probably need to be brushing up on your math facts. And finally, each color tile is about 1 inch long. About how long is the ribbon? So this would be 1 inch, this would be 1 inch. So how many total inches long would that ribbon be? Very good. It would be about 2 inches long. There's all the answers if you need to see them again. All right, great job with measurement today. Remember to watch that Math on the Spot if you wanted a better explanation for why we had to add those two together. Super simple, and I know you guys like watching those. All right, enjoy the rest of your day. Get the rest of your assignments done, and I will see you tomorrow.